Good evening, everyone. Welcome in Beit Al Oud, Abu Dhabi. And I don't want to spend much time just to say welcome. And we will start with the guest and with the Mazen and other Mazen. There is two Mazen today with the workshop. Welcome, and I hope to enjoy all. Thank you. Good luck.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everybody. Arabi, English, what's English? Yeah, okay. How's everyone doing? All right, yeah, okay. So I have a question. Do you guys know your 251s? Whoever knew the answer to that, please come backstage with me later. No, but so 251s are basically the bread and butter of modern harmony. Should I say more specifically, modern harmony in the West. But it also came to the East as well. So the whole idea of this sound, that doesn't sound very nice, right? It could sound nice to some people, but I mean, I like it, but it sounds a little annoying, right? It's actually the same. This is what when an ambulance passes by, this is the sound that you listen to, right? So this is, once I resolve this or untie the knot, it becomes pleasant. Now it's nice, right? That's called a resolution. So when I resolve a knot in sound, you know how when you have like strings and they're knotted together, and they're just so annoying, and then when you resolve them, when you release the knots, you get like the string back to being just without any knots. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of harmony, actually. At least in a popular sense, because it's a little bit more complicated than that. But the bread and butter, I would say, would be this. And what I'm here to talk about is that it is the same exact thing also in Arabic music. They are one and the same almost. They share the same idea of being tense and then releasing. Because I can play the same thing and then it's the same. See that? It's the same idea of being tense. When I phrase a musical idea in Arabic, or in just Eastern music, or the whole repertoire of Eastern music, and then I resolve. And this is the whole spiel. That's the whole idea. Just making problems and then solving them, making problems and then solving. And this is the whole, it's like kind of a reflection of life, really, if you think about it. Making problems and then solving them. So, how many of you guys listen to jazz music? Okay, that's cool. Well, what do you guys listen to? What do you listen to?
Like American jazz.
Like yeah. Mainstream. Okay. Do you have any artists in mind? Anyone you like to? Okay. Does anyone else listen to jazz music? Yeah? That's cool. Do you like...
Old school.
Oh yeah? You like bebop?
No, I like Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday? Yeah, okay. That's cool.
Nina Simone.
Oh yeah, this is the best, the great singers, of course.
Diana Krall.
Yeah, oh, she's great.
More modern.
That's more modern. She's great though, Diana Krall. Yeah, yeah. Do you play any instruments?
Piano.
MashaAllah. You play jazz?
She's professional.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay, sorry. I don't. Okay, wow.
I'm teaching jazz and pop music.
Oh, that's great. Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm just going to be talking about the intersection between jazz music and Middle Eastern music. No, you see, jazz jazz is a continuation of classical music. It is nothing more than a continuation, but it's got some things from Africa. It's got some, it has a, like you could say, an African father but a European mother, and together they've created it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Okay.
Maybe we can play something together.
Yeah, that song.
Summertime.
Yeah, that's a great song. Yeah. What key do you play? In A? Okay. How did it go again? Yeah, okay.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your dad is rich and your mom is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
All right, that's great. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's cool. So that's a great choice of a song because I can use it as an example to how I can apply maqam. Maqam is, I'll explain that in a bit. But yeah.
Actually, I want to mention that I'm from the Mawhibati.
You're-
Mawhibati, it's the
Mohibati,
program-
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And that's, what is that program?
It's a program from under 18.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm teaching DCT program.
And you're based in Abu Dhabi?
Yes, in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Yes, at the Cultural Foundation.
And you offer music lessons and all that?
Yes.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Big round of applause.
Nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So to give an example, so I'm gonna play the chord progression of Summertime. And then right? So that's how I would play it traditional way, right? Yeah. But like if I was yeah, so that would be an example of how you can play that. So the idea is basically how the maqam system, which is basically just the Arabic way of saying modes. Do you guys know what modes are? Like there's difficult mode, there's easy mode. Okay, so the modes that everyone knows are Ionian, Aeolian, right? Phrygian, Lydian. You guys know those, right? Okay, so this is more like in a modal context. So for example, so in modal music, like if I have like a drone note, for example, the note E, which is mi in like a classical way of saying it would be mi, do, re, mi, or E. So if I have E in the bottom as a drone note. Okay, so if I'm playing major, for example, right? But then and then. That would be Lydian. And for example, if you're doing. So that would be a combination of two different bayatis, and so which also works with this kind of note. So this would be in a modal context where I would leave one note going and I would apply so many different modes. So the maqam system has its own kind of modes that are similar to the modes that we know in Western, which are like Aeonian, Phrygian, and all that. But the degrees of where it's tuned is just a little different. So to give you an example, if I'm playing, for example, you guys know Phrygian, right? Sorry, I don't even know my modes, okay. Right? Right, so Phrygian itself is a beautiful mode that's very famous in Greece, Turkey, and the Arab world, and Iran as well. A lot of people play it, and so the moment I apply this idea to the same scale, did you guys hear that difference between and this? Do you hear the difference? Do you guys hear there's a slight difference? So the second degree, I bent it a little bit on the guitar. Bending is when I take a string and I bend it to get to another tone. Right? And very famous in blues music. So it's the same idea. I'm manipulating the tone itself. So I can do the same thing with a mode. I can take a mode, like for example, Phrygian, and I can do. I get that. You know what I mean? Any Arabic? Do you guys know this? It's like a famous thing in Saudi. I don't know if you guys know it, but go ahead.
Could you show to us, please, semitone and quarter tone? What's the difference?
The semitone. So the guitar.
The string.
Yeah. So guitar is based on semitones. So if I have the E string, right, my next semitone is going to be an F, right? E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Or should I say mi, fa, fa diez, sol, sol diez, la, la diez, C or T. Do. The quarter tone would be. You hear that? That would be getting to F sharp. Wouldn't be just one half step. It would be just like that. And how am I doing that? I'm doing that by simply just bending, and it's not something that I invented. It's something it's an old thing where people would take a fretted instrument and apply pressure to the string. Right? Just apply a little pressure. Or I can do. This would be a regular semitone interval between the first note, the first degree, and the second degree. Or so that would, if I didn't bend, it would sound like this. Right? So a completely different personality. You feel like, wait, what's going on? You know what I mean? Just by altering just the pitch just a little of the second degree, you're gonna get this sound. You know what I mean? This is microtonal harmony, which I'm trying to get into, by the way. Something that not a lot of people, a lot of people think it's unholy or whatever. I think it's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. But if I bent that, if I keep it like equal temperament, it would be like that. Or yeah. So yeah. And yeah. So that's the whole thing about micro. I mean, it's not the whole thing. It's so much more. But like, this is basically for like guitar. To get microtones, that's how I'm doing it. Basically, I'm playing a regular scale like Phrygian or even like Do majeur. If I play the first tetrachord or the first micro scale of Do majeur, if I want to make it minor, what do I do? Mi bemol, exactly. Right? If I want to make it Phrygian, what do? I would flatten the second as well. Now, if I want to do it Rast, for example, Rast is basically it's a scale in Maqam music. It's a scale in Maqam music. So I'm going to take the first degree, take the second degree. The third degree, I'm going to sharpen it just a bit. I get that. And even the seventh degree, I sharpen a little. So I get Do, Re, and then Re half sharp or Mi half bemol. Okay? Sorry, half bemol, not half sharp, excuse me. So Re, half bemol. Because if it's half sharp, then I take this and then I have to apply pressure to that, but that's not the case. The case is it's half bemol. So and then Fa, Sol, La, and then I go to Ti and I also go up. So now the whole thing is changed. Because now this is major. Right? But so this would be called, in Arabic it's called like tafarru', when you go from one tetrachord to another. That's the idea in Arabic. But just manipulating that, you get a completely different sound. You just get a completely different sound. And it's possible to play on the guitar. It's not like it's impossible. I mean, I'm still trying to get better at it, but it's something that's definitely possible, and you get a very nice feel, and you feel like you're freer because you can play harmony. You know what I mean? And you can also you know what I mean? It's nice to blend because, especially with C major, because F is in a void note, right? Either I'm going to make it as like a sus kind of thing, right? So I can take advantage of that because F is not part of C major, and I can just increase it a bit. And I use it as a tension resolution. Yeah. So this would come handy in jazz music, especially when I want to resolve. So especially if I'm doing like a 2-5-1, for example. Sorry about that. Okay, so if I'm doing like a 2-5-1, for example. Okay, so right here, I can stay on E, for example, and not go anywhere, just stay here, right? If I'm going to play it in a conventional way, E, F, D, E, right? Or I can do That's a way of making tension. Right? This is just a way of manipulating the fifth degree and just making it more colorful, right? So I can also do this. I can also do that, which is like it's like an Arabic lick. I can get away with it because of the whole relationship between G and C, which is sol and do. That whole tension and release. I can get away with it. And what is that? What is that maqam? Okay, that maqam. What is that maqam? Does anyone know what that is? Exactly. So I just applied sabah in a jazzy context. Why it worked is because of the whole sol-do relationship. Do, sol, do, that whole thing. And basically in Arabic music, when I play sabah, I'm basically just playing the root note. Right? That root note is E. But E is also related to C major. It's the third, it's the major third. And I don't need to play the sabah of C to get that, like I don't have to play. That's not gonna work. I mean, it's not that it's not gonna work, it's just some of the, actually it might work. Now that I think about it, it actually might work. But the idea here is you take a chord tone, and what is a chord tone? What are the chord tones of C major? Huh? A flat major. Oh yeah, you can play. Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Exactly. A flat. But in the key of C major, there's no A flat. But I mean, you can apply it like in 251. Like you can do that. I think that's one of the ways you can get away with it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, could work. Thanks for that. That could be a way. But why would it work? Because C is a chord tone of C major. It's also a chord tone of A flat. It's also a chord tone of A flat. And E is also a chord tone of A flat. And G is also a chord, C is also a chord tone of A flat. E is a chord tone of C, and G is a chord tone of C. They're all chord tones of C. So I can use any of those tones to play, to say a phrase, like a maqam kind of phrase. Even G. Like, I can play G. Does anyone know what this maqam is? You guys know what that first jins of what maqam that is? That's an easy one. That's Hijaz. Hijaz, yeah. I like that one. So a regular Hijaz would be, right? And then this would be, that would be, was it Nawa Athar? Is it? Hijaz Kar, yeah. So I can apply maqam even from the G on the 251 in C, because G is part of the C family. So I don't have to resolve on E, I can just resolve on G. And that's it, it's done. And actually there's a common thing in jazz music. They would use this note, which is the A flat, to resolve to G. That's also used. You know what I mean? Like, it's not such a, it's not so foreign. It's not so foreign. You know what I mean? If I just continue it, it's still kind of in key. It still has that same powerful resolution. But even if I want to play, that also works, which is bayat. Bayat is sol. That's just mixing things together. But that's the whole idea. The idea is I can take chord tones and just do whatever I want, and that's pretty much the same thing that the jazz musicians usually do. They take chord tones and they just do crazy things. You know, like they completely go off, just as a way to tense things up and then resolve and then come back down. So there's a very famous jazz lick. Let me just remember it. Right? This is very famous. Like a lot of people have played it. I can do the same thing in a different key. The same exact thing, but in a different key. So I can do it like this. And it still resolves nicely. And I'm basing it off of that. I'm basing it off the idea that I can completely leave the key, but then come back. And so why can't I do that with maqam modes? And maqam modes are not that foreign. They're not that foreign to like tension and resolution. It's almost the same thing. It's really not that different. So I hope you guys are with me. Are you guys with me? Am I going too fast or? Okay, cool. Okay. على طول. Salam. So I want to show you something that I want to apply this to a blues. You guys know how a blues is formed? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. A 12-bar blues, yeah. So I want to show you how we can apply this idea to blues. Because the thing is, if I'm on this key, right? So I'm on F, right? And then like, right? And then. So that 12-bar blues, I can apply this maqam to it. So I took a little bit from maqam, and then I took a little bit from jazz. But I can still go all the way. Like it's not a problem if you want to go all the way maqam with it. That's not an issue. You know? So here's my F. That still works because I'm resolving on C bayat or do bayat. So I'm starting on fa rast. And now I'm doing do bayat. And so that works because of this whole relationship. That whole F to B flat, like that whole that also works for this relationship. Because C is a part of fa, and so I can just manipulate it to do bayat. So I can have that whole idea and implement it onto a blues. So let me show you. I'm gonna have a backing track play with me. Is there Wi-Fi? Because I don't have. I need Wi-Fi. Must Wi-Fi. Huh? بتعود. Now you guys are probably asking yourselves, why am I doing Rust on an F7 chord? Because F7 has F, A, C, and E flat, right? What's up? تفضل. Yeah, it's half note. So what you're gonna do is you're going to take, for example, if you're gonna do chord, huh?
دي كورتر
دي هاتي كورد؟
لا
مقام الكرد؟
لا مش كورتر الري ربع تون
اي اي سو انا ايش سويت؟
يس دي كورتر صح؟ هاو تو بوت يعني انت كيف عملتها؟
ولا شيء انت بس تشد يو تشد شوي على الوتر يعني انت يعني اول جنس
يعني سي شارب
لا سي دو دياز شد عليه شوي
سي شارب
سي شارب شد عليه
فيري جود
تسلم yeah, so he was just asking how am I getting the microtone. What you do is it's a bending technique that I'm still working on. You either bend downwards like that or you bend upwards. It depends how you're going. So if I'm going back, I would bend down. If I'm playing it in a way where I want it to clash, I would bend up. I would bend up the string above it, because it really depends on how I'm going to play it. And this is something that I'm working on, but I'm not done with it yet. But how to basically get a chord with a microtone in it. And this is really hard because you have to bend one of the strings. It's a little tough, شوية صعبة, it's hard. بس يعني مع الوقت إن شاء الله. يبغى with practice. With practice. Yeah. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Yes, تفضل.
Have you ever thought about getting like a microtonal neck?
I have one.
You have one?
Yeah.
I made one myself.
Oh, mashallah, that's great. How'd you do that?
Just with a hacksaw, I had a spare neck.
Yeah.
Took the frets out, put them in between.
That's cool, man.
Like But so I made it, and then I really don't know how to use it, like how to sort of learn these. You're saying maqams?
Yeah.
I don't know how to sort of access it at all because I'm not Arabic speaking myself.
That's okay.
But do you have any sort of tips on how to sort of access and learn these things so I can use it?
Yeah, I would say listen to a lot of Middle Eastern music. Okay. Listen to a lot of Arabic music. Listen to Turkish music.
Okay.
Like they have tons of ideas of how you can implement them. And whatever resonates with you, just cover it. Try as much as you can to cover it. As for the technique itself, I do plan on making like a tutorial kind of self-help book,
Okay.
where you would like, oh, I want to play like this maqam. Like the way in where you can get that tone, I want to make a book because even if there are a lot of people who listen to Arabic music and they're like, oh, how am I going to get those tones?
Yeah.
There is a specific thing that I'm doing. It worked for me. It's not like a rule, but at least for me it worked. It might work for others. But if they can get that down, and then it'll be easy to learn like some. So there's Like that's a Kulthum song.
So
Alf Layla Layla, 1001 Nights.
for you, was it mostly just by ear rather than a sort of classical approach of reading notation?
I'm really bad at reading.
Same.
I can't, like, I'm just terrible. I mean, no, I had to read like to get through school. But no, for me it was really just watching a lot of you know, videos on Arabic music. There's a great channel, but it's in Arabic. But I know. But listen, forget the language, because I don't speak Turkish. I watch a lot of Turkish videos, and just listen to what they're doing, just kind of copy what they're doing.
Yeah.
I kind of do that. But there's a great Arabic channel called Musiqana, Our Music. It's on YouTube, and they just talk about maqams in a very nice way, and they demonstrate them, how you play them, and one way to play the first micro scale, then how to get to the other micro scale. And then it gives you ideas, and then you relate that to some of the songs that you would listen to. But I would definitely say listen to the music.
Okay.
That's the first step.
Okay,
Listen to the
thank you.
music. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Any other questions, or should I just connect to the internet? Okay, I'll do that.
Sorry, but when you said like bending earlier, do you mean like by bending the string itself?
Yeah.
And would it be the same on oud? Like, could you do that on oud?
No, you can't do it on oud. Well, I can't say you can't. There's no such thing as you can't.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. But with the oud, I think it's a little more difficult because there are no frets. So bending, taking the oud and bending up, that would be difficult to do. But with the guitar, it's simple. Because of the frets that are already placed on the neck, it's simple for me to just get that. Because I need power, and I need the frets to hold down there's physics to it. I'm not sure how it works, but if there are no frets, bending is going to be a little more tough. But you don't need to bend on oud because you have an open open neck. So you just shift your finger a little bit, and then you get whatever tone you want.
Thank you.
With the fretless guitar. But hatta, even the fretless guitar, you wouldn't bend. You just, yeah. But here, you know, when I'm sliding, I'm getting, you know, do, diez, re, diez, mi, fa. I'm getting all the tones. So I need to. I have to do that. Buzuq, do they bend in buzuq? Okay. Yeah. But no, this is specifically, I think, a guitar technique. Yeah. Any other questions? أنا من لبنان. من لبنان. الله يخليك، تسلم حياك. الشرف لينا يا حبيبي. شرف لينا. Yeah. What's up?
So you were singing a little bit.
1 second, if we could just wait for the mic, thanks.
Thank you. So you were singing a bit earlier, and I'm curious how this relates to the voice and with the inflections and so some of the semitones. It kind of reminds me a lot of Indian classical music.
Indian classical? Yeah. So I would say the voice is just as much as an instrument as the guitar is. And I don't know too much about Indian classical music, but if they're going to sing the modes that they have, definitely the modes are not going to be the same temperament as modern, you know, Bach music, quote unquote, which is like, you know, classical and pop music and even pop music around the world. So if you're going to go for Indian classical music, definitely the temperament of what the singer will be applying on to the intervallic relationship between the notes. It's definitely going to be, you know, the repertoire that they have like based on the repertoire that they have. So it's the same thing with Arabic music. So if I'm gonna play like a melody, like for example, I can say that melody, right? Now, where I'm from, I would not play it like that. We play it like this. That's how we know it. So I just applied, based on the repertoire that we have in the Arab world, I just applied that onto it. Even though maybe if you go to Greece, they would play it like this. And I'm sure I'm just giving you an example because we have a lot of songs in common between the Arab world and Greece and Turkey. And it's just because of common folklore. But they would probably use major scale. And that would be Lydian, actually, not major. Major would be, right? But the way we play it would be, that's how we would play it. And I'm sure it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Indian classical music. I hope I answered your question.
Well, I guess more specifically, like when translating the sound of playing in the context of Arab music to the voice.
Yeah.
Even if like you're, playing over an E drone or something like
Yeah.
that, are you just kind of tuning up, or is it going to be more sharp, or
Yeah, some of the
kind
notes are going to be sharp.
moving
Yeah.
into it? Like, does it correlate to a specific canon vocally, or is it the same thing just on the instrument?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, because the vocal is just as much as an instrument, like the oud is. Actually, in our folklore, the oud, when it plays whatever the vocalist is playing, and then gives a little melody from itself when the vocalist says their phrase, and then the oudist would play the same phrase with the vocalist, and then the oud would play another phrase just as like as a gesture to the vocalist. But definitely it is the same thing, definitely. I mean, well, the technique, of course, you got to sing and you got to know how to get those tones correctly. But it would be the same, because there are some vocalists that I've personally covered on the guitar. Like they would do like a thing with their vocals. I can't do it because I'm not really. But they would do like a thing, and then I would try and capture that and try and apply it to the guitar. And that's the same thing that musicians today do. Like they'd hear like a trumpet playing a lick, and then the guy on guitar is like, oh, I'm gonna play that same lick of the trumpeter or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's the same, I would say, for the vocalist. But I might be wrong. I don't want to speak for vocalists. But ideally, or I think as a rule, I think it should be the same. Yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna play. Okay. Yeah. Just press play. Yeah. So I'm just gonna show you the possibilities of what you can do, or at least like if with for example a 12-bar blues. Okay, so you guys know this song? is Billy's Bounce by Charlie Parker. That's an example. Thank you. That's one way to apply it. That's one way. There's way more. There's way more that I'm still discovering. There's a lot more. You can apply Hijaz Kar, Bayat, Rast. And you're probably asking, how am I playing this note with this? This note is going to clash with this note. So you can get away with it the same way you can get away with and applying. It's the same idea. The idea is applying something that doesn't quite belong, but at this point you forget the harmony and you just concentrate on the melody itself. And the harmony is nothing more now as just there in the background, and the melody is king. The melody is what you're focusing on, and the melody has a story, and that's why I think it works. Even though this is going to crash with this. Those two notes, together, they're going to crash. But it's still going to work because you're just so focused on the melody. And yeah, that's the whole idea. Yeah. I guess that's it. Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to ask?
I just want to ask,
Yeah.
are you the pioneer of this, or you took it from somewhere?
No, I'm not the pioneer of anything. I'm just trying to sound like other people. Because there are lots of musicians who are, this is even the people at
Because I
Betul.
never heard, this kind of music, jazz.
Yeah, well, I mean, you will hear it sometimes.
Yes,
Some
more and more, I think.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like cultural exchange. You're gonna see like
And it's unite the people, because
Yeah.
I believe that.
We're filming it, so we can't hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
I believe that it's this kind of mixing,
Yeah.
it's unite the people because I'm living 32 years in Middle East, and I'm happy that jazz came to Middle East. I mean, because you are Lebanese, for sure you know Ziad Rahmani.
Yeah.
He was one of the.
I would say he's a
first
pioneer.
Yes, he's the pioneer, and it's very interesting that you start to invent the Arabic skills.
I'm
Arabic,
not. Those scales are
I mean,
older
I mean,
than.
you start to mix it with the modern jazz and the classical jazz.
Yeah.
It's make me happy.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah,
That's cool. I'm going more academic about it.
Yeah.
I'm being more academic because there are players from the Arab world, especially like people like, have you heard of Dhafir Yusuf or Ibrahim Ma'louf?
Yes.
So these guys, they're like top level musicians from the Arab world, and they play with jazz harmony all the time, but there's no one talking about it academically. So I'm just,
unfortunately.
no, it's okay. I mean, I think eventually.
One day it will come here.
One day, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people will start to listen to jazz music. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Middle East.
And they're very similar. Like the whole idea of improvising.
Yeah.
Like in our tradition, improvising is very important. There's always a part for the improviser to just go ahead and play whatever they want. So I like both worlds. So I'm just kind of.
Yes. And thank you that you are doing this.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.